Hi everyone, how are you doing? Today is lesson one in how to write a friendly letter. So, are you ready? Let's start. Before you write, read the question and analyze it carefully. Often, some parts of the question are implied. What does it mean? It means that not all the details about the situation are actually given to you. However, you must show that you are aware that information is missing by referring to it or including it in your letter. So, you will notice that the format of the friendly letter can be divided into the following sessions. Greeting, paragraph 1, which is the introduction, paragraph 2, which is the transition plus the body, paragraph 3, which is the body, paragraph 4, which is the conclusion, and finally ending and signature. Notice that there are several different types of friendly letters you may be asked to write in the exam. The body of each type has certain features. Okay? So let's start with the greeting. Make sure that you know the ways of starting a letter to different people, to a friend, or to a brother, or to a sister, or to a cousin, dear, plus the first name. If you're writing a friendly letter to an aunt or an uncle, so it will be dear uncle, dear auntie, plus the first name. If you're writing a friendly letter to your mother or to your father, write dear mom or dear dad. And please note that dear parents is not acceptable as it is formal. Same for dear brother Omar. Here, this is what is called stating obvious, because of course Omar is your brother, and you do not have to remind him that he is your brother. One more thing for dear friend Sarah. Again, this is stating obvious because Sarah is your friend, and you do not have to remind her that she's your friend. Okay, what do you think of these? Dearest, my best friend. Unfortunately, they are not acceptable. In every case, use only the standard dear. Do not be attempt to write dearest, or my best friend. Is it clear? Okay. The, the second point here that you need to notice is that paragraphs need to be indented. Okay, paragraphs need to be clearly shown by indenting the first line of each new paragraph so that it lines up under the comma following the name. And don't forget to skip a line before each new paragraph like this. Now, note that the friendly letter should have a short introduction. More importantly, as soon as the examiner reads your introduction, he will know whether you are able to show that you understand the different registers. So my advice is to watch the video of formal and informal register in order to understand and be able to distinguish between both of them. Okay? If it is supposed to be a short introduction, okay, so what is the purpose of writing an introduction? The introduction warms the reader and prepares for the main part of the letter so the reader knows what to expect and can get in the right mood. Okay? Have an example here. Is it an appropriate way to write an introduction like this? Dear Uncle Omar, I'm writing because I want to come and stay with you for a month. Of course, it's not acceptable. Why? Actually, this sounds very rude. Even Uncle Omar agrees to your request. He may consider your language inappropriate. One more example. Dear Heba, if you want my advice on how to lose weight, stop eating chocolate. What do you think? This sounds very cold and definitely unfriendly, so it's not acceptable. Although the advice itself may be relevant, but the language used to express it sounds uncaring because it is too direct. So, what do I write in the introduction then? Let's see. We have different ways to write the introduction. Number 1, writing an introduction using an apology, or not using an apology, or using a personal reference. In each case, the grammatical structure of the sentence mustn't be changed. However, other parts of the sentence can be adapted to suit the question. So, number 1, a favorite way to begin an informal letter is by using an apology. And here are two kinds of an apology introduction. An apology when there is a reason why the writer hasn't written. An apology when there is no real excuse for not writing. Let's start with this one. It's an apology when there is a reason why the writer hasn't written. Like, I'm sorry I haven't written for ages, a long time, so long. But you're gonna start to write the reason for why you haven't written for a long time. I have been busy studying and I haven't had the time. This is one reason. Or maybe moving, or maybe settling into a new house, maybe getting fit at the gym, or rehearsing for the school play. These are the reasons. So, there is another way, which is an apology when there is no real excuse for not writing. I have been meaning to write for ages, but I am afraid I just haven't got round to it. Haven't got round to it means haven't had the time. Then, look again at the two examples of apology introductions. I'm sorry I haven't written. I have been meaning to write. Both imply that the writer has been thinking about the reader and feels bad about not having written. They also imply that the reader has been expecting letter and may be feeling disappointed not to have received one. In other words, this is obviously a letter between friends. Okay. Another way, which is other introductions to friendly letters do not involve an apology. Something like, it was lovely to get your letter yesterday. It was great to hear from you last week. What else? The last point is personal reference. An introduction to an informal letter can also begin with something very personal to show your friendship. Something like, congratulations on passing the exam. I hope you are feeling better, or I hope you have got over the flu. This is everything for today's session. Wait for the upcoming video about how to start a body paragraph. I'm sorry, I have to say bye-bye for now. Waiting for me. Bye-bye.